right. All right. So I think we're live now.
We are.
All right, Dara, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Lisa. So, you know how I love to do these pop-up groups because I know so many of you out there are struggling with like life is a bit of a struggle. And especially now we've all gone through a pandemic and now we're all coming out of a pandemic. And so it's been a lot of change. And now we have summertime. And so my pop-up group that's starting this Monday is we're talking about body love. And what does that mean? And I wanted to say this to all of you. So ditching the old thoughts about our bodies, and then we're going to reframe our experience without punching ourselves in the face. So I am a weight loss coach, but I actually don't care if you lose weight or not. Isn't that
But
interesting?
we do.
Well, I know you will lose weight.
Right.
And like, Lisa, look at you. You have lost weight. And now this is what I love about you, Lisa, is that you've gotten to a really good weight and you have learned your body and you have learned to stabilize it.
Yeah.
And look at what's happening. You're having like huge changes. Your whole shop moved. You built this like amazing thing. You're starting this whole new business of the retreat center on such a larger scale. And you're able to keep off that weight and like maintain it. So anyways, I guess I should like introduce myself and see where everyone, I can't see everyone on the page.
Yeah, I'm looking too to see, make sure that we are live. So
Yeah.
hang on one second. Because we are kind of not professionals. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
if you are here.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. Where are y'all from?
All right.
Okay, there we go.
We are live. Yep.
All right, ladies, tell us where you're from, first of all.
There we go. There we go. Julia. And you look younger, Lisa. Oh, I look younger? I know. I'm like 39 again.
I know, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, that's always fun when people get your age mixed up.
Yeah, Stephanie from Rhode Island.
So good.
We got a couple people that have probably not logged on to StreamYard, so we can't tell who you are, but you could tell us. It just says Facebook user on our end.
Okay. But, we love seeing you. I love that you have people from France in your Stitch group.
Yeah, all over. Yes.
All over.
Yeah. Nevada, Kansas, Deanna, Kathy Klein from Illinois, Julia from Weston, Wisconsin. I know Julia, I think. Janelle. We're here, they say.
Yay.
Okay. They're starting to pile on.
So good. And
yeah, so Dara always has these good ideas about taking care of ourselves as well as getting our projects done. So she wants to come on and give us all her tips and tricks and not tricks, but her ways of doing things. And she's got some cool things coming up that she wants us all to know about.
Right. So Lisa nailed this on the head. She talked about being more productive. Okay. So I'm a life coach for quilters. And sometimes, and I specifically do weight loss. That's kind of my focus. But so many of my clients say, Dara, I think you undersell yourself when you say you're a weight loss coach, because what happens when you start doing these tools, using the tools that I teach, everything changes in your life. Oh, there you go. You become more productive in your stitching.
I'm just going to pop them on while you're talking.
Oh, okay. I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, she was born in Wisconsin. That's so fun.
Yeah.
So good. So some of the ladies that have worked with me, they say you should call yourself a like production coach or a get work done coach or a stash buster coach or a relationship coach, because people that work with me, they're not going to get divorced anymore. They're not going to, like, seriously,
No,
they,
I obviously know that.
yeah. And they work through their stash. They spend less money, but this is the fun part. They do spend money, but they don't spend money out of regret anymore. And then they don't have the shame cycle that they used to have. Like, even my ladies, we can eat ice cream, right, Lisa? You can
Oh
eat
yeah.
ice cream and now you can enjoy it because you've planned it and you can just be with that ice cream. We don't have food as a moral issue anymore. Like, we don't have to say this is bad food and this is good food. You're like, ice cream is good. Is it as good for my body as, say, broccoli? No, not really. But is it still good? Yes, of course it's good. Chips are good. Chocolate is good. It is. Are there better foods you can eat? Yes. Are there best foods? Yes. But is it okay to eat good food every once in a while? Yes, of course. So what I teach you is that you're not going to have guilt over eating the food. And the same thing with shopping. So obviously, you all love Lisa's work and her beautiful, beautiful things that you can buy. But what's the difference of buying a beautiful block of the month because you want to and you've planned ahead versus I'm mad at my husband, or I'm disappointed my kids didn't come for the weekend, and so I'm going to buy something to try to feel better. So when I said earlier, it actually doesn't really matter if you lose weight because your worth is already set. What happens though is when you start losing weight, I mean, it is more fun, right? It's more fun to get dressed in the morning. And it's also more fun to go to the doctor and you feel more healthy. And like, it is. And like, it is more fun to get dressed in the morning. But when you start working on, why am I eating this ice cream when I should be, at work or whatever, you start eliminating your buffers. So this pop-up group is called Summertime Body Love. And we're going to ditch the old thoughts about our bodies and we're going to reframe our experiences without punching ourselves in the face. So I want to hear from you, Lisa, about what has changed in your relationship with your body. Like, look at it, how you treat it.
Yeah. Well, you just learn that, I'm not ever going to be a size 2, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, so at each stage of losing 10 pounds or whatever that looked like, you just love yourself at that point. And, something like magical happens, like, because you love yourself and you're not like beating yourself up and you're not, like, I'm disgusting or any of that. You just feel better and you make better choices, and it's easier because you're giving yourself all this love instead of all that negativity. And negativity, really, there's so much attached to that that's not good, versus having a positive outlook, having, feeling good because you're eating good. And I am like the biggest sweet eater. Ice cream, I love ice cream. I had cake last night at the birthday party, but you just learn to like navigate that a little better. Like, I had a big plate of salad and I had my piece of cake. I didn't eat like any meat, any bun. You just learn to adjust. And then when you get on the scale in the morning, you didn't gain anything. So there's a lot of tools besides, like, some of the most important things is your attitude about yourself versus what you're really putting in your mouth. So almost like I go through a lot of times when I am dealing with a lot of stress, because there's, everybody wants me to make decisions of this, that, or whatever. We got this going on. I have to sew this, whatever, all that stuff. And that just keeps like creating this not good environment. But I'm getting really good at being like, oh, you know what? This is too much. I'm checking out for an hour. I'm just going to go sit on my yoga mat and just, breathe a little bit and be like, hey, this is all really cool. Look what I've done. Yes, this is hard, but yes, we're going to do it. And, it just is much more enjoyable that way. So.
Yeah, totally. So that kind of goes back to this idea of productivity, because I think that what I've seen in my own life and those of my clients is, you wake up in the morning, you're like, okay, it's a new day. I'm going to be so much better. I'm going to be really good. Right. And then, from Australia down under, so fun. And so then you're like, okay, so breakfast, you're like, okay, I'm going to eat something healthy for breakfast. But then by around 10 o'clock, you start having all that negativity and it keeps piling up over and over. And so by like noon or maybe, Trinidad and Tobago, so fun. Tessa, Thomas, Trinidad and Tobago. Oh my goodness, so many T's. I love it. But by like noon or 1 o'clock, you have been talking to yourself so negatively for like all day. Like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing this? Look at you. Look at that fat belly. Why haven't you learned already? Right. So you're just so negative to yourself that you kind of talk about checking out. You check out and you're like on Facebook or you're doing all these other things, or maybe even like people pleasing, spending a lot of time doing something outside of you because you're like, well, I can't obviously be nice to myself, so I might as well go do something for someone else. But then you're putting yourself on the back burner again. And then you overeat and overshop or whatever that is, and you break trust with yourself. And then you go back to not having the life you want, and you're not getting all the quilts done that you want. You're not spending time stitching like you want. And you kind of, well, like I said, you go in this downward spiral of, I don't trust myself. And so I don't want to feel my feelings because they feel so terrible that I'll go buffer because I'll have some false pleasure. Right. And then your opinion of yourself, it gets worse. So that's what I call the anxiety spiral. And then you go into that worst case scenario. Whereas what I teach, I call it Hope Road. It's like, I can feel any feeling. I can do hard things. I can figure things out. And then you go to, I don't need to know the how, but you start building that trust with yourself. And then your opinion of it, you can feel any emotion. It's like, it's fine. And then you can go, your opinion of yourself changes. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. So let's go to, we're going to compare our bodies to a sewing machine. Now, Lisa, you sold a whole bunch of beautiful silver jukies, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You did. You sold a lot of beautiful silver jukies. Yes. And so I'm comparing our bodies to a sewing machine. So how many of you can put your hands up if you want, all you different users and people. But when you like, first of all, how many sewing machines do y'all have? Okay, you got to put it in the chat, ladies. And how many machines do you have, Lisa? But for all of you ladies in the chat, I want to know, how many sewing machines do y'all have? Can you see the numbers? How many do you have, Lisa?
7.
7. Oh, it's not too bad. I have 4, including my long arm.
Couple featherweights, couple jukies, couple Berninas.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm comparing our
somebody has 15.
15? Oh my word.
That's awesome. Here, look at this one.
15 that are usable. 25 decorative antique singers. Oh my gosh, you have to like post those. That is so fun.
Yeah, we want to see pictures.
Yeah, we want to see pictures for sure. Okay, so in my pop-up group that we're going to be doing, 8. Pretty good. I'm comparing our body to a sewing machine. So, for example, how do you treat your sewing machines? Like, if they get broken, what do you do with them? Or if they get really complicated,
get out the manual.
Yeah, get out the manual. Like, do you take the time, or do you just get like really frustrated and just kind of throw your arms in the air and like put it back in the box and then you never see it again?
Depends on probably how much you paid for it.
Right. I know ladies that have paid a lot of money for sewing machines, and they get so overwhelmed. They just put them away, and then they have all this. Then they go back into that shame spiral, all of that, because they're like, I can't do it, and they go back to their past, thinking like, I haven't been able to do things. Oh my goodness, how many? 43, Linda Williams. Amazing. I would love to see how you store all 43 sewing machines.
Linda, you and I hook up. We can go and do a live.
Right, we'll do a live at Linda Williams' house.
Yeah.
Sewing
She
machine.
can be a guest, and she can visit. She can show all her machines.
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
So I really am going to be working on like our relationship with our bodies, very similar to a sewing machine. And I even have an operating manual in our in the pop-up group. We're going to be talking about like our bodies and how they work. So our brains. I'm actually going to be talking about how to lose the weight. I'm going to talk about hormones and how you can work that. I also am going to be talking about fat. So many people don't understand how fat works and why we store all this extra fat. There have been so many misunderstandings and things put out in the world of how we actually lose weight. And so I'm just going to teach you all of that. I'm giving it all away. Okay. Because there are too many women that have been suffering for too long.
Why don't you tell me where they can find what we're doing, and I'll type it in.
Oh, okay. So it's good idea. I have to send you. I should have sent you the link beforehand. I will put it in. They're just tickets. They're $9 for 4 days. So it starts today on the Facebook group, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to be teaching you, and you're going to go through this big manual that I made for you. That's
so
really
what's the Facebook group?
It's Summertime Body Love.
So if they search that, that's Summertime Body Love.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I should have sent you the link. We'll put it in the so Summertime Body Love. It's the Facebook group, and then we can get into that. Okay. And then we're gonna actually work through what's the kind of life we want to have. And we even have like audible sign warnings. Like on my sewing machine, it has like pip is a sign, pip pip is another one. And so we have a lot of audible warning signs like perfectionism, people pleasing, and procrastination. Those are definitely ways that people don't get to be who they want to be. Anyway, so we're going to work through that. And then I'm going to teach you how to create your ultimate sewing machine. So, okay. So so what was her name? 43?
Linda Williamson. Linda Williams.
Williams. We can call her 43. So like, I was thinking about, how do you create your ultimate sewing machine? So how do sewing machines get better? The company they reach out to people. They say, what do you like about the sewing machine? What do you not like about the sewing machine? What could be better? And so they have a suggestion box. So we are going to make some suggestions on what would make our bodies better. And there's going to be 2 guiding principles for that. One is you need to make peace with where you are so you can stop the judgment. And the second is to become aware of yourself, because how many of us are hiding from ourselves with perfectionism, people pleasing, even Facebook, like food, we're just hiding. So we have to become aware of ourselves so that we can see where we are at, and then we can start from there, because you are not going to be able to lose weight until you accept yourself exactly how you are.
Makes perfect sense, actually.
So those women who like have been, I was there, like yo-yo dieting. Oh my goodness. Do you know how many times I lost the same 40 pounds? Lots. Mm-hmm. But I kept putting it back on because I didn't accept myself.
Yeah, or we were always like, when I get to this weight, then I'll do this, or when I can wear this size, then I'll go on this trip, or you can't do that. You have to live and love all through it.
Yeah, that's called conditionally loving yourself. So it's like, I was thinking about this morning. It's like our kids, like if they come home with a bad test mark, I'm not going to say, you know what, hit the road, kid. If you don't have that good marks, sorry, you failed as a child and you have to leave. But we do that to ourselves all the time.
A lot of the things that I've learned from you, Dara, like, so like I have a son and he's going through a lot in his life, right? He feels like he's never going to get anywhere, and things aren't happening the way he wants them to, and he just gets so frustrated, and so and I'm like, Jake, let's just sit back and realize that none of these things are big things. These are all little things. These are not life and death situations. Just calm down about them, and you really after you're talking to him and like analyzing him and going through them, and it just makes you understand yourself and what you can do and what you can't do better, right? And what you should be worrying about and what you shouldn't be worried about. And loving, like I said, you just have to enjoy where you are right now, and then, as it progresses, then you enjoy it then, and then, it keeps getting better and better because you're working on it, but yet you have to accept it where you're at right now.
Right. And there's going to be, if you want to enjoy life, you always have to have the negative.
Right. And learn to deal with it, and learn to just, accept it and analyze it and go through it, and then be like, okay, now I'm done with that. Now what's next?
Totally. And so that you are a really good example of that too, Lisa, because like you talked about stress and you're like, oh, this is just the part of my day that's stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't react to the stress. You don't say, I must be a terrible business owner because I have stress. No, you're like, I'm a human. Humans have stress. And so I'm not going to react to my stress. I'm going to accept it and be like, yep, this is the stressful part. You want to run a really successful business, you have to make some big decisions. And that associates, sometimes there's some stress involved. No problem. Bring it on. Like that's been really fun to watch you just embrace the stress and be like, yeah, if I want to be this rock star, which you are, you've always been a rock star, but you're like, to be at this level, rock stars have this kind of level of stress sometimes. No problem. Like, that's fun.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we're going to do, so this is the part where I'm going to be helping you. So we're going to like figure out the manual that we've been, because if you think that your weight or your number of quilts completed or something outside of you determines your worth, you're exhausted all the time. That's exhausting. So I'm going to teach you how to not be so tired in your life. I'm going to teach you how to use your sewing machine way better. It's like, it's okay. Let's just think about like a rotary cutter. So have you ever like held your rotary cutter wrong? And like by the end of the day, your wrist is just like in so much pain, or you don't like change your blade as soon as you should? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
And then as soon as you change it,
you're like, why didn't I change it sooner?
Right. Yeah. So we just have some bad habits. We just have some because we haven't learned to process buffering. We haven't learned to like work through buffering. And buffering is literally just using something external to try to change our feeling. We're like, we don't want to feel this anymore. So let's like eat ice cream. And then we have this moment of happiness, or let's go buy.
So tell them all what buffering, all the different kinds of buffering there is.
Yeah. So essentially buffering is just trying to feel different without just processing it. So you can buffer. Well, actually you ladies all can tell me, how do you buffer? Do you buffer with ice cream? Do you buffer with chocolate? Do you buffer with people pleasing? Do you buffer with perfectionism? Do you buffer with getting validation from other people? Like, do you buffer with sleeping? Some people just like, they have to check out. They just go to sleep. Do you buffer with stress? Like, there's so many different ways of buffering, like getting a false pleasure in some way because you don't want to just feel the negative emotion. So what was it like for you, Lisa, when we first started working together? And I would say, and you would have this like negative emotion come up, and I'm like, oh, don't push it away, just let it be. And I'd ask you actually to describe it. Where is that emotion in your body? What was that like for you?
Well, it was just kind of eye-opening to understand that, like those things don't just they do affect you physically as well as in your head, right? So, and they can take a toll. And if you just keep ignoring that and keep housing that, all that tension and all that nastiness in your body, it can really lead to a lot of things. And it's just so freeing to understand the whole buffering thing and to address it when it does happen or when you want to do it. Because like, I still find myself thinking, I should go clothes shopping. And I don't need any more clothes. I really don't. But sometimes I just need to like escape a little bit. But then I realize, no, I have lots of beautiful clothes in my closet. I don't need to go shopping right now. But so I want to just like do something more productive, like finish a project or start a new project or do that kind of stuff. So you learn to like address those and understand them and be like, no, that's buffering, and I'm going to do something better than, go buy another dress or whatever because I don't need it. Yeah.
Well, that actually reminds me. So my podcast is coming out, and all of you need to really pay attention because I'm offering 4 $100 gift cards to Primitive Gatherings shop. And my third podcast is actually about how advertisements are very much like diets. And what advertisers do is they say, you can't be trusted to bring your own happiness. The only way you can actually have happiness is if you buy it. And
right.
So, yeah. And so they learn to not trust ourselves.
Yeah. Well, and it's just so, I mean, that's people's jobs to really show you all these things that you think you're lacking in and stuff like that. So it really derails you if you don't recognize it. And just being smart enough to recognize it, or to be learned or taught how to recognize that when it does happen, it really is a good feeling to be able to control that and be bigger than the ads that suck you in.
Totally. And so then like diets are the same thing, right? So diets say you're not to be trusted. You shouldn't learn your body. You shouldn't understand about hunger. You shouldn't understand your insulin and your all these hormones that have to do with weight loss. You're not to be trusted. And so you need to follow this person that says do this, 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 and this. You see that it's the same thing. And so I'm the opposite. I teach you how to learn to trust your body and to be able to just move forward. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create the ultimate sewing machine. So we're going to create our ultimate relationship with our body and with food. And so I'm going to teach you about how to do that. So one of the things that I'm talking about is, like, how do you make yourself, like, of all the senses, right? There's taste, smell, hearing, like there's all these other senses, and there's all these other body parts that are amazing and incredible, like our digestive system, our hands. They can't reproduce our hands. Like they can't make a robotic. Like there's so many things that are amazing about our bodies, but for some reason we decide that our weight is the biggest factor. And if our weight isn't an acceptable rate or number, then we can't even appreciate anything else about our body.
Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating?
Very fascinating, I think.
Yeah. So anyways, does anyone have any questions for me? So I'm like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to create the ultimate sewing machine. You're going to leave the pop-up group knowing, and I have like these really fun worksheets so that you can work through it all. And how we do the pop-up group is I'm going to be teaching Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for an hour. It's interactive. I'll be coaching people. And then on Thursday, we have any question you want to ask me. So I'll be there for that hour asking, any question. And then you have all the replays until Sunday night. And so you can watch it and you can see my tools. I'm going to teach you the thought model that Lisa, of our thoughts create our results. And so if our thoughts create our results, if you're not aware of your thoughts, then no wonder your results are kind of all over the place. So that is one of my favorite tools I'm going to teach you too.
So for an hour a day in your Facebook group, you're going to be doing some teaching, and there'll be interactive stuff as well. Mm-hmm. And then, so what I want to say is that these are some things that nobody teaches us this stuff. All right. So if you can learn a couple things from this group, they are going to serve you for the rest of your life. And it's so worth it that I can't I can't stress enough how important some of these things are to your emotional well-being. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care who you are or what you do. They're good for everybody.
Yeah. So I think that's a really important part, Lisa, is that we never learn to think about our thinking. As humans, like we have the privilege of thinking, like we have a higher brain. So our lower brain is there to keep us like survive, right? Fight, flight, and freeze. Like our lower brain has kept us surviving on this planet for years, centuries, right? And it's done really well. But now we have this higher brain, but we don't maximize it. We don't really understand the power. And even for me, and I'm constantly exploring, like, I don't know, like some of you ladies don't really know about me, but I was a professional quilter for 5 years and I lost 50 pounds and I've kept it off without exercising or, the podcast comes out August 4th. So we will be posting all that daily.
So Dara, can you, in my Stitch group, can you post a bunch of links to where they can go to find everything?
Totally.
And I'll put that on the top of the group for the weekend. Okay.
Thank you. So, and one of the things that was so significant, and this is what I really want to emphasize to everybody. And even if you can go to my YouTube channel, I'll post that too. I have lots of free trainings. There are so many women and their husbands who have lost weight just by listening to all my free stuff. Like I want to just help all the quilters because I know I see the impact it has on their life. But when I had lost 30 pounds, I was so happy with myself. I was so thrilled. And then I started building my business. I was teaching long armers how to quilt, like build their businesses. And I had so much energy. I was teaching across Canada and the US. I was doing all these really cool things because I had so much energy in my brain because I wasn't beating myself up all the time. And so then it was interesting because I kept losing weight. And I was like, I didn't need to lose more weight. I was happy with 30 pounds down. And now my body is at 150 pounds, which apparently this is what my body likes being. So I'm like, okay. So this is how you lose weight. You learn to love yourself. Just like a sewing machine, when you love your sewing machine and you care about your sewing machine, even when it has tension problems, you're like, don't worry, sewing machine. I'll fix you. I'll figure out how to fix this tension problem, right? And even when the sewing machine is complicated and you're like, ooh, it's like, don't worry, sewing machine. I will get lessons. I will figure out how to do these, right? So that is how you lose weight. And it's so good because it's going to help you learn to change that relationship with yourself. Because the sewing machine is neutral. Your weight is neutral. It's just the gravity that your body has on the earth. That's it. It's always your thoughts about the sewing machine or about your body. That's what causes you problems. But if you're out of your thoughts, right? If you're going on autopilot and you're not thinking about your thinking, then all of a sudden you're like 220 pounds. You're like, how did I get here? It's because you're not being present in your life. So we're going to get the suggestion box out. We're going to start thinking about like, how do we make a better life? How do we create a better ultimate body for ourselves? Yeah, it's so fun. I'm 6 feet tall and I'm 150 pounds. Like I never ever thought, ladies, I would wear size 6 pants. And I was actually convinced that I would never because I would compare my wrist to my sister's wrist. And I had all this theory. I'm like, I could never be as thin as my sisters. I could never do that. I had like a whole file cabinet full of evidence that I could never be as thin as they are. Guess what? I am.
So, but I just want to tell everybody too that, these are just numbers because like, and everybody's bodies are different. Like totally. Dara being 6 foot tall, I'm 5'3" and weigh 158. But I mean, like I have like muscles, you know what I mean? Like I have like
Lisa, so look at my body. I have like no breasts hardly, and I have like no hips. I'm just like one of those people.
So no matter what,
Yeah.
we don't really to decide, what that final weight is, but it really doesn't matter because we are going to be happier at whatever weight that is at the time. So yeah, and you can't imagine what a big difference that makes. You know what I mean? So once you'd be like, okay, I'm listening to Dara, I'm doing the things. Okay, I lost 5 pounds. You're going to be happier. You're going to be happy at that with that 5 pound weight loss. And because you're happier, guess what? And you're learning and you're applying something, you're going to keep going down. Right. So, and like I was just telling Dara beforehand, I'm like, I'm one of those people that I can't concentrate really hard on too many things at one time. Like, because I'm all in, like I'm used to the hustle, like, and Dara's kind of got me off of the hustle train, right? So I plan everything, I work everything, and everything is so much more smoother because I'm not like rushing till the end or waiting till the end. I'm doing the planning all along, and I know what I can accomplish and all that stuff. So it just is a huge difference in your weight. And I, like right now, like I know I want to be a little bit lighter, but it's not that important to me right now because I have other big things, and I acknowledge that the things I have going on right now are more important. But in the meantime, I'm just kind of maintaining here and using what I've learned right now to just, enjoy the spot I'm at right now, which I'm not technically in weight loss mode right now. I'm just in, shop mode right now.
As your coach, I'm going to tell you something. What's happened is you are learning to trust yourself.
Yeah.
You're learning to trust yourself at a whole new level that you never had before. Okay. So let's just like break that down for a minute. Like, so your the way that you operated before was hustle, hustle, hustle. Like external things created your worth. And now what you've been doing is your internal, you're learning, like the advertisers, and the diets and all those things, right? I mean, I looked it up. The weight loss industry just last year, I want to tell you, ladies, this is, I mean, we are it's not our fault. $422.8 billion was spent on weight loss, telling us you can't be trusted. You can't learn, like you can't just like listen to your body and lose weight.
Right. So you must eat this food that we provide, or you must take these pills.
Yeah. And the thing that's amazing, Lisa, is that our bodies are meant, like when we're working from our higher brain, our bodies will lose weight naturally. So when I was just so busy loving myself, loving my life, and learning to like hunger, right? I teach you all about the hunger. Oh my goodness, that's so fun. 35 pounds too by changing my perception of love and acceptance of myself. That's probably one of my clients. But so what starts happening is your body, the higher brain, is now working, and so you listen to your hunger cues. Your all your insulin and your leptin and your ghrelin, all the hormones that are involved with weight loss, they're in check. All you're controlling your thoughts more. So your thoughts aren't all crazy. So you don't have like adrenaline and cortisol running through your body all the time because you're more calm. I always say the more calm you are, the more weight you're going to lose because you don't have all that stuff going on. And so then you can just be more centered, and then the body just does what it naturally will do for you. Kind of like when you have a baby, right? Your body just makes the baby. You don't have to like every morning say, oh, what do I have to do to make this baby? I have to like make some hair today. Like, no, the body just does it. It knows how to do those things. And the body just knows how to lose weight naturally when you listen to hunger, when you don't give your body a whole bunch of like refined flour and sugar, when you don't have the brain fog, like when you can do all of those things. So it can actually just go on this wonderful autopilot in such a healthy way.
Yeah. What I find too is like, I really enjoy vegetables so much more. Like I look forward to having, like I'm not putting so much emphasis on meat anymore. And I was a big meat eater, and I mean, I was just like meat, cheese, and whatever. But now I really, really am embracing the vegetables more and trying to figure out more recipes that just have vegetables in it. And I don't like dislike meat or anything like that. I mean, I love meat, but it's just like almost like it's not important to me anymore. Like I don't crave it. Like I really crave the vegetables and like the like roasted beets with, goat cheese and nuts on my salad. I mean, like I would just like go bonkers over it, like it was, something really like, oh my God, I get to eat cake, but it's like I'm thinking about salads now instead of sweets.
Well, you're learning to listen to your body, right? Your body says, like, this is what I'd like. And then now you have basically you're just building trust with yourself, with your business, with your mind, with your relationships with people, with your food that you're eating. And so like, how do you build self-confidence? You learn to trust yourself. You're willing to feel any feeling, right? So that's what you're doing way more, right, Lisa? You're not like from things. You're like, oh, here's the negative feeling, no problem.
Right. I mean, like just like yesterday, we lost somebody, not in my family, but one of my family members lost a stepson. He did something horrible, and, I just sat there for about 5 minutes and I just, sad. I was, I let the tears stream down my face, even though, just because I know what these people are going through. And I just wanted to feel those feelings. I just wanted to feel sad because I know what this mother is going through. I know the effect that this is going to have. And I just wanted to feel sad, so because when you can feel sad, then you can feel, what joy is, and you can just be knowing what all those emotions are. But then you pack it up and you'll be like, yep, I'm sad about this and I'm going to continue to be sad about this, but I'm not going to let it derail my life or my goals or, but I'm going to try to help and understand what these people are going through. And the only way sometimes you can understand is if you go through those emotions with them. So, and it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay.
Yeah. It's normal. Like you're not a psychopath.
Right. It's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? It's an emotion we are meant to feel.
Totally. Totally. So just like, I love that. And I love that to be like you said, to have like all the emotions in order to feel joy, you have to feel pain.
Yeah. You have to understand what happiness is. You have to be sad sometimes. Yeah. Life is not that picture in that magazine or that Instagram post after, life is full of challenges and you just need to understand how to get through them and how to, look forward to the other side, but know that you have to go through that and you have to feel all those emotions and not just, hide them away behind the chocolate ice cream or whatever. You have to feel those emotions, and then you don't need the chocolate ice cream to feel better. You can get better on your own, and just thinking through and feeling all the feelings, because nobody lives a perfect life. Everybody has crappy things happen to them. Everybody. And that's the way life is. So just know that you are not alone in whatever you're going through. Somebody and don't be afraid to talk to people about it. Like there's so many things through life that people don't talk about because they're embarrassed or they think they're the only ones doing it, but that is not true. And I just wish our society was much more open about the things that happen to people and families. And, then people don't feel so alone. And I think feeling alone is like one of the biggest things people have a hard time with. So reach out. That's why we have these groups. That's why we have people like Dara. So we can understand those emotions and those feelings.
Totally. So you know what we say in my group? I say shame is like mushrooms. And the only way that they grow is they're in the dark and then you feed them a lot of poop. We are no longer, and it's okay to feel shame. Like I can process shame in a flash. I got like, I can just be like, oh, there's some shame, but I don't like, oh, I'm feeling shame. And then I like go in the dark and feed myself a bunch of crap. Right? Like, look what's happening to me again. And my life is so bad. Like, and actually I want all of you to know that, that's such an interesting thing. COVID has derailed my life and I'm having a hard time getting it together. Okay. So COVID is a circumstance, right, Lisa? It's neutral.
Yes,
it is. Thoughts about COVID Okay, Tessa Thomas from Turks and what is she? She's from she has all the T's. Tessa Thomas from Turks and what was it? Yeah, exactly what happened. When did this happen? So all you did, Tessa, was you have lots and lots of thoughts about COVID, and you didn't think about your thoughts, and you made them mean that they just happened to you. So then you get into a victim mentality, and then you're now like, things are happening to us. Aw, so sweet. So you are not alone, everybody. And we don't need to be mushrooms anymore. Don't be a mushroom. Don't put yourself in the dark and feed yourself a bunch of crap. Okay? So just like what Lisa said, life is 50-50. And I think this sometimes it's really challenging because people see you, Lisa, and you are amazing. Like you are. But guess what? All of you on this are amazing. Every one of us are amazing in our own special, unique way. Aren't we so glad we have someone like Lisa that we can like rally around and she can like do all these cool things for us? Yes, it's amazing. But she also has different struggles. Hello, we're human.
Yeah.
I used to think, I was convinced, I don't know about you and Allie ladies, I actually used to look at thin people and think their life is easier than mine. I also used to look at rich people and say, their life is easier than mine. I was convinced. And then I remember this is actually not even that long ago, a couple of years ago. And I remember reading, Janine Roth was talking. She said, if everyone who was skinny and rich had a happier life, why do we have movie stars in rehab?
Yeah. It's almost that they don't know, like, because when you accomplish things, it's not, they don't like Dara has taught me to do, like, you have to really like let that sink in what you've accomplished in your life. Right. So, because if you're on the hustle train, like I was, you were just moving on to the next thing. You didn't even like sit and think for 5 minutes that, hey, I have 45 motor fabric lines under my belt. I don't have time to think about that. Do you know what I mean? So she taught me to think about, some of the successes I've had. Now, do I think, oh yeah, I'm amazing and I'm awesome? She's trying to get me to, but you're not like, very, full of yourself. You just learn that being good to yourself and accepting the things you've done is good and normal and healthy for you to say, yes, I am awesome. Look what I did. Not I am awesome,
You're not being boastful. You're not bragging I'm better than other people. No, you're like, I'm an awesome human. Look at all this beautiful fabric I made the world more beautiful because of all this beautiful fabric. And you have built a beautiful community of amazing women who all get to do something. You have this common language all over the world. It's amazing. We all want community. We all want to belong. And you are so good at that. That's what with my ladies, I am like so proud of myself every day. I'm like, look at these amazing women in my world. Like I created this.
Yeah, there's a lot of self-satisfaction in doing what we do. Like you're helping people lose weight. I'm helping people be creative and look for something else in their life to do that's, like not just work and whatever. You have to have something, a creative outlet and something to leave behind. Like I always watched my mom read book after book after book. I'm like, yeah, but what's left after you read the book? Nothing, book, you have to get rid of it. Right. So, I just love the fact that the things I create are going to be around for hundreds of years. And there's some sort of, self-satisfaction in that. Or there's a lot of satisfaction in designing something that somebody puts in a quilt show and wins a blue ribbon with, or a yellow ribbon, or a red ribbon. I mean, to me, that's more exciting than me winning the award. When I see people win something with one of my designs, it's amazing. And we need those creative outlets and something to look forward to in our lives.
Right. So that kind of brings us to this concept of balance in life. So many women, so even talking about our body, right? So if we only think that our weight is what determines our joy, we're not balanced. So that's why I said at the beginning of this call, if you can come to my pop-up group and I promise you don't have to lose 1 pound to be happier.
So even if you're happier, it's worth it.
Because it's not actually like the number on the scale is actually just your thoughts about it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you that you don't have to lose weight to be happy. That's like, even right now with Lisa saying like, you've maintained this weight. I'm like, are you kidding? That's amazing. You have maintained this significant weight loss that you've had. You've been doing all this amazing stuff and like building this massive business and all these changes in your business, and you have maintained 100 and like your weight. That's like you've been able to have this peace, and you can have this happiness because you're not having to hustle to say, in order to be happy, I have to keep losing weight. No, it's like us, you talked about being on the hustle train. How many of us, and you can put your hand up if this is you eat food, but you don't enjoy it because you're already at the next thing. Or even with your quilting projects, you're like, okay, I got this, you got the block of the month done, but you're like, yeah, but look at all these other ones. You never slow down enough to enjoy what you have. So that's why I say I don't want you to lose weight until you accept where you are right now. You're like 220 pounds, because guess what? You're the one who put the 220 pounds on. So until you can actually be with that 220 pounds and be like, yep, this is me doing it, you aren't going to be able to have permanent change. Or if you do change, it's going to go right back on again, because you think, when I lose that weight, then I can be happy. You got to learn to be happy now. That's a little bit of a soapbox, but it's true.
Yeah. It is true. This is kind of interesting.
Your hard work, self-confidence, your amazing creativity. You also have an inner knowledge of how you go to where you are. You inspire all of us. Yeah.
So
it's true.
That's awesome. I wish I knew who sent this to me, but
yeah, that's so sweet.
You put your name if you're a Facebook user on our thing. Yeah. So these are all beautiful things that Charlotte does, right? That's a good life right there. And just being happy. And Charlotte, if you're enjoying all those things, I don't care if you're 200 pounds or 150 or whatever, as long as you enjoy them at wherever you are, that's good, right? And if you struggle, like if you're not happy that you are overweight, then you have to acknowledge that, and you'd be like, okay, now what do I need to do? And you find some tools to help you accomplish where you want to be.
Yeah, we're not going to hide anymore. So
No.
I'm going to share. So I have 5 kids, and my oldest son just left. He's serving he left for 2 years, and he's serving a mission for our church. So I'm not going to see him for 2 years.
How do you feel about that there?
Well, this is interesting. And he was like my driver. He like did dishes. Like he was your ideal kid, like amazing. And so I was having a lot of sadness about him leaving. And I'm sharing this with you because I actually gained 7 pounds, and I'm the weight loss coach for quilters. And so I gained 7 pounds in like 3 weeks. Okay. And the scale kept going up, and I started going to my old habits of excuses. My husband bought a new scale. I'm like, I hate that scale. The scale's terrible. And then I was like looking for all these excuses because I wasn't eating the ice cream. I wasn't doing those old things I used to do, but there's only 2 reasons we're overweight. One, over hunger. We just eat more often than we need to, and we're not paying attention. So we're snacking, we're eating more often. We're getting full when we're not noticing that we're overstuffing ourselves. And the other one is over desire, which I was not doing. So I plugged my ears. I'm like, I wasn't listening to myself. And then when I got onto myself, I was like, okay, you're at 160 pounds. What's going on? Like, wake up. Because I was doing the old diet thing, right? The old excuses, like it's not my fault. And I'm blaming other people. Okay. That's what I was doing. And then now I'm back down. I'm actually down to 150. So I'm actually less than I was. I was normally around 153. So the reason I'm sharing this with you all, ladies, is because life happens. And I'm a certified weight loss coach. I help women lose. My biggest loser is 90 pounds. Like, so much fun. Her life is so much so much fuller. Like it's so much fun to watch. But this life happens. Okay. And so I'm just sharing that to be real. And so I want you to come to my pop-up group. I want you to see what are you doing currently? What is your current operating manual? How are you treating yourself? And then let's get curious about why you're doing that. I'm going to teach you tools of being aware of your brain. Okay. Yeah. So this is the thing. You got to be on yourself, Tessa. Oh my goodness. Just come to my group. I got to tell you. So now you're having this like battle with your body, right? And you're not having any acceptance. So you're spending all your time avoiding, rejecting, or reacting, which doesn't help you. It makes it worse. And then you're never going to change. Okay. So come on, we're going to get this suggestion box. We're going to like work through all this stuff. And just give yourself a chance. Give yourself a leg up. Really, like let's even what Lisa was saying about thinking about your thinking, nobody teaches that. So even if you could just be a little bit more aware, like take the earplugs out for just a short time so you can actually start listening to your thinking, it's going to be safe. Okay. I'm going to help you. Anyways, are there any last minute questions? I want to honor our time here.
So I do want, I am looking for the group. Hang on one second. I got to get out of our Facebook group here. I just want to find the group so I can get the right thing so they all can see it.
Yeah, let me send you, actually, okay, I'm going to send you the link. And then you can post it. Okay, here we go.
Because what's showing up is summertime love, summertime, and summertime love. No body love.
Yeah, that's not the right one. So let me just do this.
Let's get this right so everybody can find where they need to be for you. But you're going to give me all those links too, and I will put them in the group on this in the description of this group once it posts to the group.
Yeah, let me find this one for you. Technology is amazing. We can do so many things. Oh yeah, here we go. I've got Mary Bongers is coming to the group, so she's so much fun. So much women.
I haven't seen Mary this year yet, so yeah, I haven't seen her for a while.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you. So can I post it in the group?
Yeah, you can post it in the group. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's find it. Let's go Stitch. No, whoops. Okay. Oh, so good. Okay, comment. So so one of the things that I've done, and I've done the research on this, is that when you pay, so it's only $9. And the reason I'm doing that is because when the research shows that when you pay for something, there's this like a psychological switch that says this has value. So they've done research in the past of people who offer these amazing courses and they're free, and people are like, but then when they just added a price. So the reason it's $9. So really like, okay, I have.
That's 2 coffee drinks.
I was going to say that's like 3 fat quarters.
No, don't compare it to that.
Well, you can go and you're like, ooh. But like 3 fat quarters, or what else can you pay for $9, right? But there's something in your brain that says this has some value. This has some worth. And you're going to maybe pay a little bit more attention, and you're going to take it a little bit more seriously. Kind of like if someone just gave you a sewing machine.
Yeah. I'm going to put your, I just found your page.
Okay. Yeah. So then you want to put that one in there. And then my YouTube channel is also really helpful. But yeah, come to that. And then there's like, as soon as you buy your ticket, you're going to get a video from me telling you what you need to do. And then you're going to, we're going to be opening the Facebook group today, which is going to be so fun. And then you can download and print off the Summertime Body Love workbook. And it's really fun. This is actually, you know what I say to my ladies all the time, if we're not having fun, we're not doing it right. There is going to be some work.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Yeah, that's my biggest thing in life is like it's got to be fun or I'm not doing it. Yeah,
Right.
like I gotta love what I do or forget it, I gotta do something else. So, uh, it's a good motto. It's fun. It's a good life.
It's not going to always be. I mean, we can't always have fun, fun, fun. Because if you always had fun, 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 you'd never know that it was fun. It'd be like your new normal, right? That's why you have like these adventure seeker people, adrenaline rush people, because they never let themselves like actually have a balanced life. So they don't have that.
Yeah, but like I like even doing dishes. Like, hey, I love doing my dishes because guess what? I bought these beautiful plates and I love them. So I do, you know what I mean? So you have to find joy in the mundane as well. So, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, but even working can be fun is what I'm saying. So
Totally,
you know, the fun
totally.
stuff, the work, even losing weight can be fun, right, Dara?
Oh yeah. I mean, I tell you, like I put on my clothes now, like getting dressed. Okay, this is the thing. Losing weight is actually fun, and being thin is fun.
It is, yeah.
It is. I mean, but it doesn't mean that your life is like automatically better.
No,
I
no.
I have 50-50. Like
It is
I
work.
I mean, I have other things in my life, right? Like so the thin part, I'm good. And so if these sneaky things happen and I gain 7 pounds, I actually just lost 10 pounds. It was great. I was like,
Right, because you know what to do. You know what
right.
to do when you have to rein yourself in a little bit. So, you know, life is good. Life, you know, life has some things, but you know where you know where your home base is.
But it is an ebb and flow. And like even right now with your shop, you've had an incredible amount of stress.
Yeah.
Moving shit like, and the thing, this is what I say to my clients too. I'm like, let's have a whole bunch of compassion for ourselves. And I say, you know, like that expensive cream, it's like, don't just be skimpy on it. Like compassion is like the most beautiful cream ever. Just like slap it on. Just like give yourself so much compassion.
All right.
So much fun. All right, ladies, it's been so much fun meeting with you. And I had so much fun talking to you. And I want all of you to come to my pop-up group.
All right. So make sure you get those links in the group then, Dara, so they know where to find you. And we'll put this in the group so everybody can watch it all day long because Saturday's busy. People are out.
That's
with
right.
time off. So
if you want, like, so you can sign up for it today, tomorrow. You can even sign up Monday morning. And then if you're kind of curious about who I am and what I've got, you can go to my YouTube channel. I have tons of free trainings there. Also on my Instagram, that's also a good place to find me. All right. All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Happy Saturday, everyone. Get some stitching in today. I'm working on a new project. Bye.
Bye.